Hello, this is Tyler Joyce with NCSA Athletic Recruiting. I wanted to take just a few quick minutes here and give you a quick walkthrough of the administrator site so that you'll be able to access some of our tools and information about our clients that you'll potentially be having consultations with. To get us started, we'll start off at this link above here, which I'll provide. Let me log out. Actually, it'll take you to this login page where you'll have your own set of login credentials, again, which I'll send over to you guys, and we'll make sure you have it saved down so that you can reference it later on. But your username is just SmartTrack, and the password is NCSA. Go ahead and click Login. From here, really the only tab that you'll need to gain access to our database is to go to Update here at the very top middle section and then down to Client. From here, you'll be able to search our client database by last name, first name, phone number, and email address. You shouldn't ever have to click on an inactive client or a free or unverified client. Potentially, you might want to search by parent email or phone number. If you just type it in and don't have this box checked, it will only check our student-athlete database and not the parent. So, of course, like I said, you can put an email address or phone number, but typically the easiest way to find one of our student-athletes is just by first name and last name. So, for example, I'll put in a student-athlete. So, again, just first name, last name, and go ahead and click Search. So once the search runs, it'll pull up some information about that client, obviously client name, the state that they're from, their graduation year, sport that they play in program. The button you'll want to click here is Open C3 Prio. You won't want to ever click on Edit. That'll take you to a back-end system that really won't provide the information that you're looking for. And in fact, I believe we might block you from going that route. So always click on Open C3 Prio. And then from here, you're essentially going to be impersonating the student-athlete's recruiting management system or their online toolkit. The first page it'll take you to is an admin summary page with some really key information here about the client. Of course, again, basic contact information, but probably very important to you over at SmartTrack will be to see who is assigned as their recruiting coach. This is the person who will be their main point of contact and will be interacting with them throughout their membership. So in terms of sharing information and further integrating our services, I will provide a list of email addresses for every recruiting coach, which you can reference back to and send any notes, the link to the strategy report, any detailed information that you'd like to pass along to our staff here. You can also see in this right-hand side a scratch pad. This is just internal notes about this student-athlete. In this case, is a family friend of mine. He has a scholarship offer from South Dakota State. A link to another website with some more information about him. This would be a great section where you can add a link to a college strategy report or any brief notes. We try not to get overly detailed in here. As you see, it's a relatively small box, and we want to keep the most pertinent information up at the top. But, a quick sentence or two and a link to the college strategy report would be fantastic. All you need to do is click Save once that information is in there, and it'll save down to the scratch pad for us to reference in the future. From here, the only other section I could foresee us using might be the tracking notes section. Tracking notes just shows, as you can imagine, past communication between us and the student-athlete, including email communication, phone calls, voicemails, text messages, really any contact that we might have had with them in the past. You might want to briefly skim over that either before or after a consultation. From here, there's a couple of sections I want to show you. We'll stay on this Edit Profile tab, which again will essentially impersonate this student-athlete and go to exactly what he sees when he's logged into his profile. From here, the important tab to click on will be Preferences. It's this far right-hand side tab here. Preferences are just that. It is a opportunity for this student athlete to go in and put his stamp on what he wants to accomplish in terms of making his college decision, what he's looking for as a family, what they're most interested in, starting with geographic location. If you click here, you can expand this list and say yes, no, or maybe for each individual state. This all impacts their matching algorithm and these top match percentages that you see here on the right-hand side. So if I were to click maybe and then click save, these match percentages would potentially change if those schools are affected. So this is a great place to see, what they're most interested in. In this case, in terms of geographic location, relatively open across the board. Athletic selectivity, they might be more interested in, say, upper division levels or Division III or junior college potentially. So again, some good information here. Academic selectivity will show you what they're most interested in terms of maybe the academic accreditation of the school, the size of the school that they might be most interested in, college setting in terms of urban, suburban, or rural, and then, of course, college type, military, Christian, historically black, et cetera. In this section, they also have the opportunity to include a major or a preferred field of study, so they have a long list of majors that they can select from. Not every student athlete will have one entered, but, of course, some will. So, again, a great place to gather some information about what their top priorities are in terms of making their college decision. So, again, to get back to this page, it was Edit Profile and Preferences. From here, the other section that will probably be most helpful will be the My Colleges tab directly to the right of this Edit Profile tab. It'll show you the College Activity Report, which details all the activity between the college coach and our student athlete, including the number of times a college coach has come and viewed this student athlete's profile, how many times they showed up in search appearances in our database, and how many emails they have recently opened. So again, here you can breeze through and see what type of communication they may have had, whether it's an email open, a follow is similar to what you might see on a Twitter follow or any other social site. It just gives that coach the opportunity to keep closer tabs on that student athlete, get updates about when they update their profile, add new video footage, et cetera, and then of course how many times they viewed the profile. On this right-hand side, this green check mark notifies this coach that the student athlete might potentially be interested in the school. So if you see a green check mark, it means he's indicated interest. If you see a red X, it means he's indicated that he's not interested in that school. So again, some good information here. And then lastly, if we go back up to the top of the page and click on this Favorites tab, you'll then see a list of schools that this client has said they're most interested in and that they're actively targeting in terms of their college decision-making process. So in this case, only one school populated, but you'll see a lot of student athletes with 10, 20, sometimes more schools on this list. Again, this might be really helpful in terms of nailing down that college strategy report and detailing which schools they're most interested in. Lastly here, I'll show you how to get back to that admin summary page we were just on. So if you see in this upper right-hand corner a small icon that says admin, if you click there, you'll see admin profile view. Again, go ahead and click on that. That'll take you directly back to the admin summary page where we started, again, with recruiting coach, contact information, and the scratch pad. Only other thing I might foresee your staff using is the preview profile button. This is just kind of a place where we aggregate all that information, and this is what we display out to college coaches. So it'll have, again, contact information, some key stats, video footage. For our football student athletes, we do a detailed athletic evaluation, again, athletic history and more athletic stats, any past events. A personal statement is just a paragraph or two where we give them the opportunity to add a more personal touch to their profile, talk about why playing college athletics is important to them. Again, mostly athletic information here, but as you get a little bit further down towards the bottom, you do see some academic information, potentially a copy of their transcript, which we allow some athletes to upload. ACT or SAT scores would be in this section as well. And then down at the bottom, any academic accomplishments, honor roll, Dean's List type of awards, and then, of course, extracurricular activities as well. If you have any questions, of course, I'm readily available to make sure that we get this process up and running as smoothly as possible. So please don't hesitate to reach out. More than happy to do some one-on-one training and walking through of some of the administrative tools. But hopefully it'll be pretty straightforward. You can reference back to this video to answer most of your questions. But again, please don't hesitate to reach out. Thanks so much.